that they go through this season that starts basically in September. They have all their preseason practices, games. She does the tournament, gets the national championship game. And then like within a month, she's playing in real WNBA games. There's no real off season for her. But the thing I wanted to bring up was just
LeBron James, the #1 NBA draft pick in 2003, believes the WNBA should acknowledge the impact Caitlin Clark has had on the league. He emphasizes that many of the positive developments in the WNBA this season are directly related to Clark's influence. He feels she truly deserves recognition for her role in the league's success. Do you agree with LeBron that the WNBA's significant growth is largely thanks to Clark's incredible rise in influence?
James, right? And here is what he told Esquire when he was asked about Caitlin Clark. He said, I have a great deal of respect for her because I know exactly what it means to be drafted, to be the face of a franchise, and also get the scrutiny from a lot of people that don't believe you're ready for the next jump. And so me watching Caitlin, seeing what she's doing, I've been in support of her since day one because I remember myself going through that, and she has my support 100%. She is a transcendent.
Ever since rumors about Caitlin Clark possibly leaving the WNBA started spreading, fans, analysts, and basketball enthusiasts have been in a state of panic. It's as if they've realized they've lost a winning lottery ticket, one they hadn't even claimed yet, and you can't really blame them. Caitlin Clark has brought unparalleled excitement and an unforgettable highlight reel to women's basketball. The idea that she might now take her talents to Europe has left many people confused, wondering how things reached this point.
Or with practicing with, on the planes with, in the locker room, in game situations was kind of, just had this kind of, like you said, you don't say hate, but just like animosity, like towards me and what I could provide. And I didn't even come in with that. I came in with the narrative, but I didn't come in with that type of aura. I just wanted to come in and learn from the vets and then put the work in. So I think for my advice to Caitlin, and my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be, I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work.
If you really think about it, the signs were there long before Caitlin Clark announced her departure. The constant falls and clear lack of protection on the court were major factors in her decision. And there's only one group to blame for this, the WNBA, which failed to safeguard its biggest asset. Instead, they sat back and allowed poor officiating and unchecked aggression from players to push Caitlin Clark to her breaking point. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a complete failure by the WNBA to protect and support their biggest marketing asset.
You can always just work for that and remind yourself of that, and that's certainly what I'm going to do going into the offseason.
Go, Christine, then Scott.
Caitlin, in the kind of kaleidoscope of memories that we all have of events and years, maybe 20 years from now when you're done, or 25, whatever, what do you think might stand out, positives, even maybe moments like the 2 threes in LA early on? Or for you personally, are there any that you might think of in terms of highlights, showed you belonged, a pass, anything that comes to mind now about this season and what you did in the season? Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's, there were so many moments, and every place we went was so unique, honestly. It's fun to kind of look back. Like, people always ask me, like, where was your favorite road arena? And I'm like, they're all so different and unique in their own way. And
was warning the WNBA about the consequences of losing Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever star was the one attracting thousands of fans to the arenas. She was the player whose name was on everyone's lips, from hardcore basketball enthusiasts to casual fans.
I learned a lot about myself as a basketball player, as a person, being resilient when your back's against the wall, but also really coming into our own and really thriving. And I think, once we figured it out, it was a lot of fun.
The last two in the room, then we got another one from Howard, Scott, then Matt.
Caitlin, I know you said you don't feel like a celebrity, but you lived in that spotlight really for the last year. What can you kind of describe what that feels like for you, since we can't experience that? And then also, what do you kind of expect the next several months quietly to feel like as you'll be able to just live?
Yeah, I feel like it's like everybody's always watching your every move, no matter what you're doing. And I feel like the best thing that I've tried to live by is like to just be the same person that I am off the court, whether I'm, leaving my apartment every single day or whether I'm here sitting in front of all of you. I've tried to approach it.
We're talking about a 400% increase in viewership, a staggering number that will have the WNBA, NBA, and ESPN scrambling to ensure her name is featured in everything they do.
Maybe they won't bring you trouble, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And it's regarding the subject of Caitlin Clark. For those of you who don't know, she's a former star at Iowa in college, played in the national championship game before losing to South Carolina. She's number 1 overall pick for the WNBA draft. She is a special talent, to say the least, even though she's not having a special year because the Indiana Fever are stinking up the joint. They've got the second worst record in the league. Only the Washington Mystics are worse, who are 0-8. The Indiana Fever are 0-9, but that's not the story involving Caitlin Clark and all the drama that surrounds her on this particular day. As we get started to talk about this hot topic, that is Caitlin Clark, let's put it in its proper perspective. The Indiana Fever rookie was fouled Saturday night by Chicago Sky.
But they refused to treat her like the box office sensation she truly was. Instead, they exposed her to harsh physical play, constant disrespect, and a lack of institutional support. It's no wonder James is warning of the storm that could hit the WNBA if Caitlin decides to head to Europe, where a league would truly appreciate her contributions.
Kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. They flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. For anyone that's, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
The reality is, the WNBA is in for a painful and unforgettable absence without Caitlin Clark. She was the heartbeat of the league, the one who changed how people viewed the WNBA. As LeBron James has pointed out, losing her isn't just about losing one player, it's about losing the only true spark in the league.
Close. Clark knocks down her second 3 of the ball game.
The race for Rookie of the Year is over. After what they did to the Sky, after they won their 4th straight, after they're over 500, they were just 500 the other day for the first time in 2 years when they were 2-2. The reigning 2-time champion, who probably is going to three-peat in my estimation. She is just something special. Best player in the world as far as I'm concerned, okay? We got that going on. 10.6 assists for Caitlin Clark. Leads the league. She's the league assist leader, okay? 9-3 since July 6th, 3rd best record in the WNBA over this time behind Minnesota and the New York Liberty. And I already added that they won 4 straight. And they're in the 6th seed, just 2.5 games out of the 5th seed. Caitlin Clark has been flat out balling, and she has elevated her level of play to a point. There is no debate. I understand Angel Reese has been doing a thing with the double-doubles, like 24 straight double-doubles and all of this. Major props to her, and she deserves, she's going to be number 2. But Caitlin Clark going to win Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark is in the conversation. She ain't going to win it because Asia Wilson there. But Caitlin Clark is in the conversation for league MVP. I don't know if y'all already know that, but she in the conversation.